always forward, always down, and neither left nor right. I have just finished Disquiet Gods, which is the sixth book in the Sunnier series by Christopher Ruocchio. And if I'm just getting straight into it, guys, it's excellent. It's really good. To the surprise of literally no one who's seen any of my reviews, or pretty much anyone's reviews that I've seen of this series, Disquiet Gods is another absolute banger by Chris. I mean, this book is so good, top to bottom. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it gets really close to being as good as Kingdoms of Death for me, which I gave a straight up 10 out of 10 to. And it comes into a close second place for me. I mean, this book just has it all. So let me get straight into it. The only con I will give it, the only thing that I think stopped it from getting that perfect 10 out of 10 for me, was the side characters. I really wanted more time with the side characters in this book. I always felt like, despite being first person, Christopher has always been very good at fleshing out and making all the side characters feel like very real people. Here, they feel more like side characters. You know what I mean? They feel like they're there. Some of them are definitely better than others, but I just want more time with these characters, and I'm hoping that the seventh book that's apparently coming out next year gets to explore some of these, because there's a lot of really cool stuff going on with them. I just want more of a focus on them. Besides that, though, everything else is great. It has great action. It has great characters. It has great character moments. It has great world building. It explores some very crazy Lovecraftian slash just really out there sci-fi concepts that I love. There is a lot of scenes out there that feels like similar to Frank Herbert describing what tripping on spice is like, where Hadrian is having these experiences with creatures who are so beyond our ability to understand that it feels like an acid trip, but done like really well. I mean, it's a really wild book. If you've read Sun Eater up to this point, it's more of the same, but just better. You know what I mean? Like, it's got the same crazy concepts. It's got the same great action sequences. It's got the same great world building. It's got the same great characters. It's got everything that you come to expect from this series. And I think it does something better in this book particularly than any of the other previous books. I think it has one of the best chapters in not just the entire series, but in all of science fiction, for me. Now, I will just give a slight warning. I'm not going to spoil it, but I am going to say that if you are going into Disquiet Gods and you are someone who might struggle with religious themes in your books, if you don't necessarily resonate with religious themes in your books, if you're someone who doesn't really like religious symbolism or anything like that, you might struggle with this book. I'm just going to be honest, because there is an entire chapter, one of the best chapters in all of science fiction for me, where it is very religious. And if you've studied religion even a little bit, if you know anything about religion, it'll be very, very, very obvious to you what Christopher is alluding to. I mean, like, I have my degree in theology, so that kind of helps. But I'm telling you, I think even like 16-year-old me would have been like, I know what that is. Like, just instantly, it is very obvious what it is. And now I know a lot of people will probably hear that and be like, oh, I just don't want to read it then. Because it feels like, oh, maybe the author's shoving his religion down your throat. He's not. I think it's excellently handled. I think it doesn't come off as preachy or pretentious, or like Christopher saying, oh, I'm right about my religion and my faith, or whatever, or this is how you should interpret God, or religion or faith in general. It comes off as a very real moment. It comes off very, very well done, in my opinion. I think a lot of authors struggle with putting religious themes in their book and handling them well. But I think Christopher is probably one of the best authors when it comes to this specifically. And this sequence, I mean, like, it blew me away. I think it's genuinely one of the best, like, single chapters I've read in all of science fiction. I mean, it's just so good. It's like an hour-long chapter, and it's just, like, peak. Like, it's there's no other way to define it. I don't want to spoil what happens, but just know that, hey, I'm telling you this now so you can just prepare yourself mentally, that there is a lot of talk about what God is in this book and what religion is. Is it all made up? Is it all nonsense, etc.? If you like religious themes, I think you're going to really resonate with this book. If you don't, I ask that you be patient because I think it's very well handled. I think it's excellently done. It never, like I said, never feels preachy, never feels pretentious. It never feels like, oh, this religion's being shoved down your throat. But I wanted to put that warning out there because I know some people really, really, really like it, and some people might feel more like, did you really have to go there? I'm on the side of I really liked it. I liked how it was handled. I love the sequence. I'm still thinking about it, but I can see how some people might have that as a pushback, where they're like, yeah, I really love this series, but this one scene just didn't work for me. But yeah, for me, whole book is great. But that scene specifically for me just stands out above the rest. I mean, this book is excellent. You know, everything from chapter 1 to chapter, 68 or whatever main chapters are in here are great. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, whatever, all great. We get so many cool moments and so many cool concepts, and we get to just see Hadrian come to this place where he is now. It makes sense. It makes sense why he is the Sun Eater. It makes sense why he's the half mortal. It makes sense why he has to do these things, or why he made the decisions that he made, all in retrospect. And I'm just really, really, blown away by how great this series has been so far. And I just know that the next book is probably going to just blow my mind, and it's going to blow the minds of the Sun Eater fans. Because this series, it's special. It's a classic in the making. It's a classic in the making, in my opinion. It's like our generation's Dune. That is the only thing I can compare it to. And now, having finished Disquiet Gods, having read all the Sun Eater books, besides like 1 or 2 novellas that I just couldn't get my hands on, I will say, as a series, Sun Eater is the best science fiction series out there that I have read. It's better than Dune, it's better than Red Rising, it's better than Foundation, it's better than everything else I've ever read. As a series, I think Sun Eater is the science fiction series to read. It is just excellently done. And Disquiet Gods is one of the best science fiction novels I've ever read. Not my favorite, but definitely one of the best. And I will give it a solid 9.6 or 9.7 out of 10. This book slaps. And if you, for some reason, are only seeing this review and none of my other ones about Sun Eater, pick it up. This is the 6th book in the series, but just pick up Sun Eater, pick up Empire of Silence. You literally won't regret it. If you somehow regret reading this good of a series, I don't know what to tell you, man. This is peak science fiction for me, at least. It's the best the genre has to offer. That is just my opinion, but it's excellently done. If you've been waiting to read Disquiet Gods, stop waiting. Just go pick it up. Listen to it on Audible, find it in a store somewhere. I don't know. Just read this because it's great. I got nothing else to say.